Hello and welcome to the second episode of B4S Spotlight, a signature podcast series by Buddy for Study, where we bring together influential voices shaping the future of education in India. I am Salma Rahman, and I'm delighted to host today's episode titled Beyond Funding, the CSR Blueprint for Inclusive Education. At Buddy for Study, we believe that true educational transformation goes far beyond access to funding. It demands a multi-dimensional approach, one that combines vision, partnerships, and purpose. And today, we're diving into how corporate social responsibility can serve as a strategic blueprint to drive inclusion, skill building, and long term impact in education. To explore this important theme, we are honored to be joined by a distinguished leader whose work sits at the intersection of ethics, sustainability, and social good, Mr. Sridhar Sarathy, Chief Ethics Officer and Head of Sustainability, CSR and Engagement at Tata Capital Limited. A Tata veteran for over 30 years, a Fulbright Fellow, Sridhar completed his leadership management program at Carnegie Mellon University, USA. He serves on the Tata Group's Core Skilling Committee and the CSR Committee of the Bombay Chamber of Commerce. Outside work, he's a keen sportsman and long distance runner. Today's conversation will be led by Ms. Neha Agrawal, Chief Strategy and Growth Officer at Buddy for Study. Let's get started. Over to you, Neha.
Thank you so much, Salma. A very warm welcome to you, Sridhar sir. So we are truly honored to have you with us today on the B4S Spotlight. Your decades of experience, Salma very rightly mentioned, it's more than 30 years you've been working with the Tata Group of companies and steering purpose-led programs are incredibly inspiring. And we are excited to dwell more into your journey and vision. So let's dive in, sir. So could you walk us through your life journey and key decisions that led you to the meaningful work you do today, sir?
So thank you, Salma, for the kind words, and thank you, Neha, for having me over this discussion interaction today. It's indeed an honor and a privilege to be discussing with young minds. As Salma rightly mentioned, I'm a Tata veteran. I worked with the Tata Group for now close to 35 years. It's been a long, fruitful journey. What's kept me going with the group is, of course, it's purpose led and the leadership right since the inception has interested me a lot for what we do for the community. So that's in short about me, and I'm sure as we interact more, you will get to know me a little bit better.
So I would like you to go back to your student days, right? And share certain experiences or examples from your student life that helped shape your career and led you to pursue the field where you are in currently, sir.
So I grew up in the city of steel, which is Jamshedpur. I grew up studying in Pune, and then, of course, I all my work life has been with the Tatas in Mumbai. My student days were very interesting because we had to contribute to the society at large. So whether it's about cleaning somebody's garden or trimming trees, we had to do something which was socially useful. We believed a lot in reading too, so therefore I was always interested in reading. So it's been an interesting journey, and as a student I've really enjoyed what I did, what I learned, and what I contributed. And of course, that was the beginning of the journey for me as I grew up into a corporate career.
So from your point of view, how CSR initiatives can meaningfully align with the public policies to close this gap? That is one. And what role do you foresee for strategic funding, to mentorship, or any other targeted programs?
Surely, focusing on higher education, the CSR initiatives can play a pivotal role in complementing public policies in accessing equity, quality, and of course, employability. And strategic funding is key. What I mean by that is there an opportunity for us to support tier two, tier three colleges, the tribal areas, remote districts, where the public investment can often be limited. We've gone ahead and funded some smart classrooms, made sure there are libraries, provided access to labs. There's an alignment in a national mission like say ARUSA, which is a Rashtriya Uchatar Shiksha Abhiyam, which focuses on both equity and quality enhancement. Why do we do that? Because it reduces both urban and rural disparity and in higher education. So the Tatas have always believed the citizens who belong to rural and tribal areas deserve an opportunity to also have a better quality of living. Another area which we focus on is in about specialized skill development programs to make sure that everybody's industry ready, provide them hands-on training, which are aligned to both the skill or national education policy goals. So we also have an internal scholarship program to provide structured mentoring, an opportunity for internships if it arises. The impact would be in terms of smoother transition from a college to a career. Many of us are functionally ready, but may not be ready in terms of the softer skills, especially for the first generation learners. I think it provides an opportunity for them. Scholarship is surely a key. Another point is scholarship and financial aid for the marginal students is very, very key. My personal philosophy of making sure that the girls who belong to the affirmative action communities, especially from low income backgrounds, give them an opportunity because it will make sure that it provides them access. At the same time, also provides diversity in higher education. There's also, of course, the digital learning infrastructure, and we're trying to do that, making sure that we are, prepared for a better digital India, and make sure that the quality of content that is available, the reach that is possible across geographies is better. But make sure that our CSR focus is aligned with public policies, whether it is the NEP, whether it's Skill India, whether it's the RUSA, or whether it's Digital India. All of them have very good metrics, key impact metrics, which include scalability, which includes holistic development, philosophy of inclusivity, making sure there's equity and access, and more importantly, employability. That's how I would place it.
So I want to know what inspired you in this direction, where many of the other organizations are focusing on STEM scholarship, while Tata Capital, as you said, is supporting tribal students, affirmative actions, focusing more on diversity, equity, inclusion, and then also on the school segment. So what's the thought process behind that, sir, and how do you assess its long-term impact?
At Tata Capital, we believe that early stage intervention is not just important, it's foundational. And while higher education scholarships are critical, many talented students, especially from underserved backgrounds, have already dropped out or fallen, because of systemic barriers. And that's why we chose to focus also on some of our CSR efforts on school level scholarships, targeting students as early as middle or high school. Of course, with the advent of COVID, it became critical. It became an imperative also because many of the children lost either both the parents or one of the parents. And we wanted to do a bit to ensure that the continuity in education does not suffer because of the loss of a loved one. The dropout data and learning gaps, and it normally spikes between class 8 and 10, especially among girls and children from rural or low income communities. All this actually compounds during these years. And we wanted to break that cycle, earlier. We just don't want to just fund education, but make sure that we sustain the aspirations that are there. We also wanted to prepare children who are more motivated. It's not about just going to school, but more motivated, build academic confidence, make sure that their life skills are better. And if we lay the foundation in the early of success in the earlier years, they're better prepared for competitive exams, careers and skill based, university entry, etc. We also want to break the cycle of poverty. Education of children, especially for the first generation students, can uplift the entire families. We've, of course, got feedback from esteemed partners such as Body for Study. Our research also shows that even with small financial support, which is given at the right time, can actually prevent long-term disengagement. And this insight actually helped us shape the approach, our strategic approach towards the entire thing. We are also making sure that there's gender equality, equity, more community empowerment, especially for the girls. I keep repeating, and that's why with Buddy for Study, when we partnered, there's a lot of emphasis on continuing, the girl child on education. It's not about disbursement. It's not just about scholarships. By investing in their potential early, we're just not about funding their education. We are trying to ensure that we future-proof opportunities and make sure that's a catalyst for lifelong change. And we are committed towards that.
So can you share how Tata Capital views polytechnic education as a catalyst for preparing these youths for the evolving job market in India?
In a world where traditional academic paths, which often lag market demands, there's a middle skill gap. So you have a high end tech job where you will find more of engineers, etc., being out there. But at the same time, you'll find a gap in the middle skill professionals, which can be technicians, digital workers, etc. And polytechnic institutions offer more of a practical skill based training, which is often aligned with the industry needs, and it makes them more adaptable to the rapid technological shifts. It's actually offered a lifeline for the underprivileged or the underserved youth, because it's more affordable, it's accessible for people from or for children from rural or economically weaker backgrounds. So the broader vision for Tata Capital is it's not an alternative to traditional education, it's a launchpad. It's not about just the degrees earned, but by actually what the skills and that are applied on the job and the livelihoods that we are able to create with the support of our partners and the ecosystem at large.
Absolutely. So that's the end objective. And if I even talk about the impact measurements of various scholarship programs, would you like to add any other impact metrics which you think a scholarship program, can measure or can have more effectiveness while we are implementing them?
What we could do is whether we are doing something which is strategic, whether it's sustainable, in terms of holistic development. So we're trying to prioritize, we're using data, we're looking at high potential students, whether there are dropout rates, the transition to higher education, the digital infrastructure that is available to scale, which is one of the reasons why we've actually partnered with Buddy for Study. The objective is to ensure that we don't compromise governance or the transparency. So I spoke earlier also about the mentorship. That's important. Industry exposure is required. That's another key.
So I want to know, with these rising demands for the financial assistance from the students, how is Tata Capital planning to scale its scholarship programs while also ensuring that sustainability and impact are still there?
I think that's a fantastic question. Tata Capital is committed to scaling its scholarship um, strategically, sustainably, and I keep repeating holistic development. And I think we need to make sure that we prioritize the most vulnerable and the high potential students. We need to ensure that we don't lose out on good performers, people who have an aptitude, people who have a good attitude, people who would like to do and contribute and make sure that they improve the quality of the society. Those are very, very key. Therefore, we're investing in partners like Buddy for Study because it's about tech-enabled scholarship, where you have a good application verification, disbursement tracking, student progress, feedback. And, our objective, our ethos is very clear. People who are like-minded like us, we need to be together because we need to make a difference. The Tata Group has always been about nation building. Nation first has always been a philosophy. And if the nation has to develop, I think we have to invest in education, and education means the real India, which is also rural India, people from the underserved communities. We have to give them an opportunity to contribute to India's progress, and therefore we will scale it up. We are introducing a tiered support based on academic stage, economic need, performance, etc. So strategic partnerships are definitely key. Like Buddy for Study, we're also looking at making sure that we have more partners who have the same ethos and philosophy. So it's beyond the scholarship, it's building a holistic ecosystem. So as I said, we are just not funding education, we are actually nurturing the future change makers. And our goal is to create a pipeline from scholarship to self-reliance.
So one last question to you is, what message you would like to give to these young listeners, to these scholars, to these students, while they're thriving to break the careers and shape their futures?
There's always a message to the young women who aspire to break the barriers. I personally feel they have it in them, and if there's uncertainty, let it be a spark. Don't let it stop you. uh, you know, Go ahead, be the change maker. They are the change makers. We speak about Sunita Williams in the recent past. Their ambition is surely valid. To all the young girls who are listening, the journey can be tough, for all of us. But I can assure you, it's transformational. All of us are not just chasing success. We are also quietly and powerfully trying to rewrite history.
So now we'll move to a very quick rapid fire section. That will be interesting. Maybe short answers, 1 or 2 words at most is something what we're looking at. So, sir, are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
So, sir, who or what is your biggest inspiration?
My parents have been my biggest inspiration. My mom, late mom, would always say that whatever you do, don't let your left hand know what the right hand is given.
One skill that has helped you the most in your career?
Adaptability is important. Being flexible is important because it helps you embrace opportunities.
What's the one thing that keeps you motivated?
The impact that I can have on others' lives, particularly in helping individuals overcome barriers and making sure that they unlock their potential.
If you could meet one person, living or dead, who would it be?
I would have loved to meet the founder, our late founder, Mr. Jamshedji Tata. He's a true inspiration for me. So if I could meet him, surely I would love to meet him.
Your go-to productivity hack?
We have something called the Pomodoro technique. I normally break my day into focus blocks on time, making sure it's for an hour or 90 minutes the max. I work on one specific task, one project, take a short break, and then make sure that I don't burn out. So it helps me stay focused and make sure that I'm making progress at the same time.
Your favorite book or author?
I love autobiographies. So it's about Autobiography of a Yogi by Paramahansa Yogananda.
One word to describe your work ethic?
I think consistency is key. It helps me build the momentum, focus, making sure there's trust.
A quote that resonates with you?
Oh, there are many, but two of my favorite quotes. One is, of course, by Mahatma Gandhi, be the change that you want to be. But the other one is by Abraham Lincoln. The best way to predict the future is to create it.
One advice you'd give to your younger self?
Do not be afraid to make mistakes, and don't be in a hurry to rush the journey.
Last question. If you could change one thing about the world, what would it be?
I think it would be to foster greater empathy and understanding between people.
Sir, any closing remarks from your side?
Well, I just say all of us want to make the world a better place to live in. So let's try and contribute in our own small way. Thank you for having me here. Real pleasure and a privilege.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Sridhar sir. This was not just an insightful session, but an inspiring one as well. So your journey is powerful reminder of how leadership can create meaningful change, sir. To all our listeners out here on the podcast, stay tuned for more episodes of B4S Spotlight. Until next time, let's continue to build a better tomorrow through education.